Welcome back, true crime enthusiasts. Today we delve into another compelling case filled with love, deception, and betrayal. If you're drawn to gripping stories and unexpected twists, you're in the right place. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue bringing you powerful and thought-provoking content each week. Now let's begin.
San Diego's Hillcrest district was home to one of the city's most luxurious salons, Bellini Luxe. Velvet chairs, marble floors, and mirrors rimmed with soft golden lights. It wasn't just a place to get your hair done. It was where clients came to be seen. Behind its creation stood a man whose charm could silence a room. Marco Bellini, not just a stylist, an icon. At 48, Marco had built an empire. His hands transformed hair, but his heart built a family. He married Isabella, a fiery-haired colorist he met at a Miami Expo 20 years ago. Their chemistry had been instant. In the early days, they were inseparable, two artists with shared dreams. They had two children, Gianna, a thoughtful, book-smart girl who now attended college in Los Angeles, and Luca, a shy 12-year-old who idolized his father. From the outside, theirs was a perfect family. But inside, something had gone dark. As Marco expanded Bellini Luxe into Santa Monica and Palm Springs, Isabella seemed to shrink in his shadow. She no longer worked at the salon. Her laughter, once contagious, had turned bitter, lonely, resentful, forgotten. That's when she reconnected with Dante Cruz, a rugged ex-boxer and an old flame from her wilder days. It began with messages, then secret meetups, then hotel rooms. But what began as lust soon twisted into something else. Something dangerous. Isabella started whispering things she couldn't unsay. How Marco had changed. How she was invisible. How life might be easier without him. Dante listened, encouraged, then asked, "Do you want this done?" She never said yes, but she never said no. January 18th, a Wednesday evening. Gianna was away at school. Luca was at a sleepover. Isabella claimed she had errands. Marco was home alone. He FaceTimed Gianna. Told her he was proud of her GPA, said he'd send her a little something extra for books. Then he grilled himself a steak, poured a glass of red, and settled into his recliner. By morning, he was dead, stabbed 13 times. Isabella returned home and called 911. She was crying, shaking, claiming the house had been robbed. But detectives noticed something strange. No signs of forced entry, no damage to the alarm, nothing stolen but Marco's BMW and a watch. Who breaks into $1 million home and leaves behind wallets, phones, and jewelry? The answer came through a gas station camera in Chula Vista, just hours after the murder, where Dante Cruz was seen driving Marco's car wearing gloves. They traced a burner phone linked to Dante. The messages revealed coordination, passwords, timelines, and chilling words. "I'll wait in the garage until he's asleep." Remember, silence buys freedom. 1 month later, arrests were made. Isabella was picked up at a yoga retreat in La Jolla. She asked calmly if she could finish her smoothie before leaving. Dante was caught trying to cross back into Mexico. The DA made it clear this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment crime. It was an execution calculated and driven by lust and money. In court, the text messages painted a damning picture. But the most devastating moment came when Gianna took the stand.
If you're enjoying this story, kindly do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. It is free and won't cost anything, but it means the world to us. We're just a small channel trying to grow. Thank you, and back to the video.
She wore her father's favorite color, deep navy, and clutched a silver bracelet he gave her at 16. Her voice trembled. "I don't hate you, Mom. I wish I did. Maybe it would make this easier. But I don't. I just miss Dad. I miss the way he used to put his scissors down to watch Luca's school plays, no matter what client was in the chair. I miss the smell of his cologne on the couch. And I'm sad that you'll never see Luca graduate. That we'll be the only 2 kids in the world who've lost both parents, even though one is still alive." She paused. How do you grieve someone who's still breathing? The room was silent. After Gianna stepped down, the judge called on Marco's sister, Elena. She took a deep breath before speaking. Her hands shook as she unfolded a small piece of paper. "I used to call Marco my second heart," she began softly. "He was the one who held our family together after our parents passed. He taught me how to change a tire, how to forgive, how to laugh when things felt impossible. She turned to Isabella. You took him from us. From his children. From me. You didn't just commit murder, you committed erasure. You rewrote our story with blood. And the worst part, we trusted you. We loved you. You were family. And you turned our family into a crime scene. I will never understand it. I don't want to. I just want you to sit with it every single day of your sentence. Next came Miles Carver, Marco's childhood friend and business partner. The man who helped him co-found Bellini Lux. His voice was steady but cracked with every word. Marco had this way of making people feel seen. He once cut hair for free at a cancer benefit because a 10-year-old girl said he reminded her of her dad. Isabella, you knew the best parts of him. You knew who he was. And you used that knowledge to end him. That's the kind of betrayal that shatters a soul. You didn't just stab Marco, you gutted an entire community. The judge sentenced both Isabella and Dante to life in prison without parole. As the gavel fell, Gianna didn't look at her mother. Not out of hate, but because looking would break her all over again. Luca, now living with his aunt, asked only one question later that night. Did Dad know she didn't love him anymore? No one could answer. Bellini Lux was never the same. Though the salon reopened under new management, regulars said the light never returned. The gold accents were polished. The champagne still flowed. But Marco's chair, the one in the front corner under the bay window, was never used again. Luca moved in with his Aunt Elena. He stopped talking for a while. At school, teachers said he kept drawing scissors, hundreds of them. Gianna changed her major from business to psychology. I want to understand how someone can wear a mask for so long, she told a friend. I want to make sure no one like my mom ever tricks someone like my dad again. Dante Cruz filed an appeal in 2024. It was denied. Isabella remains at the California Institution for Women in Corona. In her mugshot, she no longer smiles. And though she writes letters to Gianna and Luca from prison, neither of them writes back. Elena keeps a photo of Marco in her wallet. A shot from the 1998 salon grand opening. He's smiling, arms wide, covered in hair clippings. Full of life. He was born to make people feel beautiful, she once said. The tragedy is, he never saw how ugly she had become. How well do you know the one you love? Can years of trust be faked? Could you sleep next to someone who's dreaming of your death? Would you know the moment their love turns to loathing? Or is it only clear in hindsight when the blood's already dry and the laughter has turned to silence? Marco Bellini lived for beauty, but in the end, it was the illusion of love that killed him.
If this story stayed with you, tell us why. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this a tale of a woman pushed too far or a manipulator who wore a perfect mask? Should children forgive a parent who commits the unforgivable? And how do we move forward when justice is served, but the wounds still bleed? Hit like, share, and subscribe for more stories where love takes a dark turn. And until next time, stay curious and stay safe.